Hi guys, and thanks for watching Mia's new pair of glasses.com, and welcome to part 9, compartmentalization in the Masters and Controllers series. I completely understand that what I am telling you in my series may be hard for some to accept, even for those who have been pursuing the truth. I am telling you that your world is not what you thought it was, to an unbelievable degree. It's normal to have some cognitive dissonance. In the field of psychology, cognitive dissonance is the mental discomfort experienced by a person who holds two or more contradictory beliefs, ideas, or values. This discomfort is triggered by a situation in which a person's belief clashes with new evidence perceived by the person. But you can bet that we have the correct answers. In the interest of time, I have chosen to not explain every detail of everything mentioned in my series. There are many things I will mention, but not go deep into detail because I will never finish the series if I do. You are free to research any of the topics that I skim over on your own. We are still on the ground level. This topic is massive, but if I don't thoroughly explain the ground level, there is no way you will be able to see the higher levels when we get to them. This series is not just about giving you answers. It's more importantly about giving you the outline that teaches you the correct way to view the world, so you can get your own correct answers on any topic. That is what having the Holy Grail, the correct working model, and the correct way of looking at the world does for you. Through deductive reasoning, you can get the answers without someone having to tell you. I cannot stress enough why you need to understand the concept of compartmentalization. That is what we will talk about today. If you haven't yet watched my video, Controllers Prep Public for the EMCO, in the current EMCO video series, you definitely should. It ties into this series. In that video, I show you just some of the things that they knew would happen and have been put in TV shows and movies before the same events actually started happening this year. I think everyone can agree that the year where everything went crazy was 2019. The consistent abnormal phenomena I've covered on my current EMCO Signs page and in my videos all started around late December 2018 and have carried on into 2019. Now let's take a look at some clips from the movie Geostorm, released on October 20th, 2017, to see exactly how specific the controller's knowledge was.
Everyone was warned, but no one listened. A rise in temperature, ocean patterns changed, and ice caps melted. They called it extreme weather. They didn't know what extreme was. In the year of 2019, hurricanes, tornadoes, floods, and droughts unleashed a wave of destruction upon our planet. We didn't just lose towns or beachfronts. We lost entire cities. The East River swallowed Lower Manhattan. A heat wave killed 2 million people in Madrid in just one day. But in that moment, facing our own extinction, it became clear that no single nation could solve this problem alone. In the year of 2019, in the year of 2019, in the year of 2019, everyone was warned, but no one listened.
By what they place in movies and TV shows, there is no doubt that someone knows exactly what is going to happen and when. Everything we have talked about that has happened and is coming, they show in this movie. So it's clear that someone decides and orders the movie creators to put these things in their movies. But does that mean that the actual directors, producers, actors, and everyone else involved in the production of these movies are totally in on it and know everything? No. Why? The answer is compartmentalization. In understanding how the pyramid structure works, how these blocks relate to one another, and how to decipher what is important to take from each piece of evidence we get, you must understand how the top-level controller's key strategy, compartmentalization, works. Everyone involved in the pyramid structure, ultimately serving the controller's master plan, is compartmentalized. This key strategy is how the masters and top-level controllers maintain control. To understand compartmentalization, let's take the power structure of the military for one example. A grunt in the military is trained to perform a specific task. He has an objective. He is not privy to the secret strategy of the war. At every level of the pyramid structure, the participants only know what is necessary for their specific objective, meaning they're involved on a need-to-know basis. They only know what they need to know. In the military, only the chief of staff and generals know the strategy. It is the same in organizations like NASA and SpaceX. Each person working in these pyramid structures is trained to perform a specialized task. They believe that they are actually doing what the organization tells them and the public they are doing. In the movie Capricorn 1 about a faked Mars landing, they display exactly how compartmentalization plays a part in deceptions. In this clip, one of the technicians notices something that doesn't add up, and he investigates the discrepancy.
Dr. Bergen.
Yes, Elliot.
I wonder if I could talk to you for a moment.
What is it?
Well, there's something. I have a problem, sir.
Oh, are you feeling all right?
Oh, yes, sir. It's the readout.
What about the readout?
Well, I just can't figure something out.
Well, perhaps I can be of some help.
Well, I hope so. See, I ran a check on the transmission on my own on the signals.
On your own?
Yes, sir.
I like your dedication.
The readout. The television signals are coming in ahead of the spacecraft signals. It's like they're closer or something, but much closer.
No, that's not possible. There must be some malfunction in your equipment.
Well, I don't think so, Dr. Bergen. You see, I double-checked that console.
Which console are you on?
36, sir.
Well, that's the answer. We've been having some problems with the circuitry on 36. We've had trouble with it before. I'll make sure it's repaired, and thank you for bringing the problem to my attention. You show initiative. I like that.
Dr. Kellaway, I wonder if I can speak to you for a moment.
Certainly, Elliot. What seems to be the problem?
Well, I just can't figure something out, sir.
What is that?
Well, I'm not exactly sure, but it's in the readout. I spoke to Dr. Bergen about it a long time ago, and he said it was in the console. I'd like you to take a look at it.
What console are you on?
Telemetry's a 36.
Oh, yes, Dr. Bergen told me about that. We had that console repaired.
I know, sir. It's just I keep on having the same readouts.
What readout?
Well, sir, I ran a program on my own just to check something, and the readout's different.
You ran your own program?
Yes, sir. And, I don't think it's the console.
Well, we'll have it shut down, and I'll see that it's serviced. Thank you, Elliot, for bringing the matter to my attention.
You're welcome, sir.
hard day at the office?
Do you not want to talk about it?
Did you break your slide rule?
I'm not really sure. I ran a check on my own on the transmission signals. The numbers came up screwy, so I told Dr. Bergen about it. It was like he was pissed at me for running a check. He said it must be a console malfunctioning, so I told Dr. Calloway about it. He said the same thing.
Big deal. What did you expect, a merit badge?
I guess so. They must know what they're doing. Those numbers couldn't have been right anyway. No way.
And if you know the numbers couldn't have been right, why the hell are you so upset?
It was the way they reacted. No double check or anything. They looked at me like I was a kid and offered me a cookie.
What were the numbers?
Have to admit it is ridiculous.
Good, let's play pool.
Those signals couldn't have come from 300 miles.
Which signals?
The television transmissions.
I think I just sobered up. Would you tell me what you just told me again?
Hey, Caulfield. Telephone.
This technician reports the discrepancies, having no idea what is really going on, that the mission is being faked. Then he disappears and is never seen again. That is what a slave gets for running their own program. Compartmentalization is why even the controllers who are up the scale on the pyramid or high-level puppets don't even fully understand the master plan. Just because someone knows something and is involved in some way does not mean they know 100% of everything. Even the astronauts in Capricorn 1 were not told that the mission was going to be faked. They were pulled out of the ship right before takeoff. They thought they were really going to Mars, just like the astronauts in the faked moon missions. Every technician, employee, and the people in the crowd watching believe they have gone to Mars in this movie and the moon in real life. Most are not in on it, but they still unknowingly participate in the deceptions. Only the group at the very top knows the entire strategy. This is also how they eliminate threats of who can expose them and how much they can expose. Keep everyone involved in the dark by keeping them focused on very specific objectives, or compartmentalizing them. What is the main tool of our society that keeps people in every area of life compartmentalized? Schooling, institutions, and training. The purpose to schooling, institutions, and training is to get the slaves to perform a task. It is not to question the training they received. Each person who has been through a training thinks they are doing the right thing because that is what they are trained to think. Some examples are NASA technicians, doctors, teachers, lawyers, police, and every other type of job. Directors are told what things must be in their movies. They don't know why. It doesn't mean that they know about the MCO. It doesn't mean that the director of Geostorm knew that this would all actually happen. Every now and then, there's a director that doesn't comprehend that there is a group at the top controlling everything. Therefore, when they are told to do something, it is not an option. They push back, and when they try to do their own creative vision, they get fired. That is why so many directors are fired and movies reshot in the middle of production. If they start getting the idea that this is their movie and they are going to do it how they want and don't do what they are told to do, they are replaced. Here are just a small sample of examples. When listening to a piece of material like the Last Druid documentary, why should we not take everything that is said literally And everything people like Ben say as fact? He is in a secret society, so he must know all the secret knowledge, right? No, he doesn't. He knows what he was trained to know by that specific group, what he needed to know for the part that he was to play. There are many secret societies and many members at all different levels. Even members are not told everything. They are told what they need to know by someone above them. It's all because of compartmentalization. It's important to understand that people working in every pyramid structure believe the narrative they are told by their leaders about their organization's objectives. That is how the top gets so many to be complicit in nefarious purposes. They lie to them. And most of the time it goes off without a hitch. But occasionally there are people that may ask too many questions or stumble upon something they weren't supposed to know that gets them into trouble, like the analyst in Capricorn 1. For another example, in the case of Waco, Texas, all those government agents and gunmen believed what they were told by their superiors. They thought they were on the right side. They were told terrible things about David Koresh, but they were operating off trusting authority and what they were told. That's how they get people to murder innocent people and take down groups that threaten the controller's interests. There are still those that were involved today that do not understand what exactly they were involved in. Only those at the very top of the pyramid structure know what the real plan is. Everyone else is unwittingly participating in something they do not understand. But now, through this series, you will be just some of the very few who do understand. Thanks for watching, guys. Everybody stay safe, be good to one another, and God bless.